It has been a week since I've been out here. Been getting too comfortable, I guess. Living with my brother. It was a great time, you know. I just gotta like get back in the mindset of being on the road. It's 3 o'clock, and I have charged my phone. I think I'm gonna go up to the highway and start hitchhiking a little bit, and we'll see if I catch a ride. Back on the road again, headed south. 2 hours later. It's been pretty slow going here. Seems like it's about 50-50 between trucks and cars. I think this might be a situation where I'm just better off going to the truck stop. All right, a couple hours later. I need to start waking up earlier so I can get more time in. But 3 hours-ish, 2 hours, maybe 2.5, is plenty of time. And now I'm looking for somewhere to sleep. The sun is going down pretty quickly here, and these woods look kind of perfect as long as they don't immediately descend into a creek or turn out to be impossible to get into or something like that, you know. But it kind of looks fine. Oh yeah, here's a creek. Aha, a little further up it looks like there's some sort of an actual bridge. As long as I can cross there. Oh god. Alright, cool. These turned out to be some pretty cool woods. If you'd like to see more of that, there's some bonus content on Patreon. But for now, all you need to know is I set up at camp, and this is the next morning. So I definitely had the opportunity to wake up on time today and get stuff done, but I kind of just chose not to. It's like 3 o'clock already. The sun's been going down around like 5 or 6. So I don't really think I actually have time to hitchhike. My phone needs to be charged, so I do need to get up at some point, but I am kind of just thinking I might leave the tent up and just go charge my phone and then come back and sleep here another night. So that's what I did. Alright, well, it's noon now on Monday, and I just woke up, and yeah, what I want to do today is I want to cook some food for the first time ever. I got my camping stove with me. I've actually had this little camping stove for a while, but I didn't have any fuel for it until recently. Here's what it is. It's just this little guy that screws on top of here, and then these fold out, and this little guy here lights the spark. So I'll show you how that works. There's what it looks like all assembled, and then my idea is if I use this thing, I got this can of soup over here. Soup, it's not soup, it's macaroni and beef, whatever. It's a can. My worry is that if I put it directly on the flame, the label might catch on fire, the heating might not be even enough. So I'm going to try putting it in some water, and hopefully that'll make the heat a little more even. And you know, might not be necessary, but that's my idea for now. I have to be careful with this because the last thing I want is to start a forest fire. I don't want to burn myself. There was a sticker on the bottom of that. Whoops. Also, see a potential issue here. Steam's getting trapped under the can, I think. This might not actually be a good idea. I'm going to the store later today, and one of the ideas I have is getting some instant coffee, which I could probably cook just like this. Boil the water just like this. This would have been better if I just put the pasta into the cup. Complete. It's boiling, just to be safe and then take it off. So maybe the water idea wasn't the brightest, but it's a little warm. I think the stuff at the bottom is warmer than the stuff at the top, which makes sense. Actually, not too bad. Was it worth all the trouble? Maybe not. But it is better than eating it cold. And as a proof of concept, that's pretty good. Now we know it definitely works. I mean, it's there. It worked. So I've been trying to think about why I've been so lethargic the last couple days. I think part of it is just kind of like the adjusting to, you know, being outside all the time and stuff like that. It's definitely part of it. You know, my brain doesn't want to accept it all, so I just kind of like go into shutdown mode. Obviously, just like the dopamine addiction thing is still obviously going to be a problem. But I think maybe the number one thing that I'm kind of thinking about is the fact that I have money now. Means that the situation isn't as desperate, which makes me kind of, I don't know what the feeling is. Just makes things not feel quite as urgent, so I feel like I don't have to get anything done. The main motivator for me right now, and today especially, is I just don't like sticking around the same place, especially as, you know, a bum. It just starts to feel kind of icky, and like, you know, you're going in the same places all the time, and they, you know, the first couple times you go into a restaurant and you sit there for 4 hours charging your phone, you know, people are kind of sympathetic, but then like the 5th or 6th day in a row, people are less sympathetic. So I don't like that, and that's kind of my main motivation for getting out right now. Honestly, the mornings are probably the best part of all of this. Just waking up in this kind of foresty place. I feel bad that most people don't get to experience this. So we got some instant coffee and stuff yesterday, and it's my first time trying it out. It looks pretty good. I need to wait for it to cool before I can sip on it though. Honestly, a lot of what I end up cutting out of these episodes is just me going on and on about stuff that doesn't really matter to the point of the video. So I cut out a lot of that, but here's the main gist of it. Alright, so I made the decision I'm not going to Florida. You know, I think part of this whole lethargy that I'm experiencing is just my subconscious trying to tell me something, and that something is I don't want to go to Florida. So I talked with my shot caller patron, aka my brother, and one of the benefits of the shot caller tier on Patreon is that you can tell me where to go. So I told him I've decided not to go to Florida. Where do you want me to go instead? And he said you should go along the Gulf Coast down to Texas, and specifically I asked him for a city. He said Austin, Texas. So that's where I'm headed next. If you want to go to Patreon, you can get the shot caller tier is $50 a month. That's the highest tier. I'm not taking anything over that. I do have a Cashapp if you want to do a one-time donation. All the links to that will be in the description. $5 will get you bonus content, extra deleted scenes, stuff like that. $10 gets you access to the Discord, all the channels and all that. $20 gets you access to polls. So in the future, I could ask, you know, should I take a train? Should I take a bus? Should I walk? Should I do whatever, you know? All right, so then I've decided I'm going to Texas. Now the issue is there's a lot of different ways to get there, and I'm pretty sick of hitchhiking. There's hitchhiking with truckers, there is riding trains, train hopping, and then there is paying for Amtrak or Greyhound. I looked it up. From Jacksonville to Mobile, Alabama, I can get a Greyhound for about $89. Still kind of a lot, but I might be willing to do that. The issue is, I'm here in Savannah, Georgia, right now. It's already pretty cold right here, and I don't really want to go any further north. So if I'm hitchhiking I can either hitchhike, I need to stay on an interstate, so I can either go up to Highway 16 and hitchhike this way, which I've actually looked at, and there isn't really a great place to do it from. Or I could go south, which was my initial plan, try and get to Jacksonville. And from Jacksonville, I can either try and get a train out, because there's a lot of trains coming out of Jacksonville, or I can try and get a Greyhound. Amtrak was just way too much money. I don't know when exactly that would be useful, but I guess if I was trying to get all the way across the country, it might be worthwhile. But basically, I want to try and get out to Mobile without spending as much time as possible in Florida. I don't think I want to try and hitchhike in Florida even. I think from what I've read, it's just not worth it. So I think the plan right now is to try to get down to Jacksonville and then pay the $89 to get a Greyhound out to Mobile, Alabama, and then start hitchhiking from there out into Houston, into San Antonio, and then up to Austin. Or, you know, however that shakes out. We'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So, I'm looking further at the Greyhound buses. If I wanted to pay my way all the way to Mobile, Alabama, I could take an Uber from here to the Greyhound station for about $20. I could take a Greyhound from here to Jacksonville for about $50. And then I could take a Greyhound from Jacksonville to Mobile for about $100. Altogether, about $170 to $190 probably. Depending on, you know, if I get the best seats or whatever. So, that's a lot of money. But I'm getting a little tired of Georgia, to be honest with you. So now that I developed a plan, I finally had the motivation to get myself up and out of that town. Well, here I am in downtown Savannah, and I've still got about 5 hours or so to go before my bus. It's pretty cold out here, to be honest. So I'm probably not going to do a ton of sightseeing, but I might walk around a little. First I gotta find somewhere to charge my phone. Seems like a nice city, honestly. It's like, it's weird because it's got a lot of like historic stuff going on. But then there's also a lot of, I don't know, kind of hipsterish looking stuff going on here in the downtown. I'm not like in the heart of downtown either, so anytime I go through a city, basically, I have to do that thing where I'm like, I'm only seeing part of the city. I'm sure it's not all like this. It's, you know, there's good parts and bad parts to every place. What I'm seeing right now, though, Savannah seems like a pretty nice city. Some sort of Revolutionary War base tour thing going on. They're firing off some muskets over there. Alright, fine. I'll go take a look at the tourist shit. Battle of Savannah. One of the deadliest battles of the American Revolution. Alright, I fulfilled my quota of tourist shit. It's a very cool looking tattoo shop over there. It's kind of what I mean by hipstery. Not like in a bad way, just like, I don't know. Lots of little quirky, neat little shops and stuff over here. And with that began the saga of the Greyhound buses. I was not able to get footage of most of it. This next clip is after I'd spent a night in Jacksonville already. I got dumped there basically midnight, 1 a.m., something like that. And it was pretty rough. Well, that was the worst night maybe I've ever had. I'm not sure. I just had to find a spot to lay down, and luckily I didn't, nobody tried to fuck with me or anything, so that's good. But it is fucking freezing. And I'm in Florida and I'm fucking shivering and I can see my breath and I'm like, good God. It wouldn't be so bad if I could set up a tent. So I'm gonna take a bus. I got my next Greyhound is tomorrow, tomorrow night. So I got one more night to spend in Jacksonville. I'm taking a bus out as far as I can get. Trying to find a place where I can properly set up a tent and get some sleep. Alright, so I took a bus out. I am up north now, and I found this little area, which is right by the highway, and there's the highway on-ramps right here. I'm like in the middle of Cloverleaf interchange, but the forest is pretty thick right here. There's like some stuff over there, but I went and checked it out. It doesn't look like it's been used recently, so I don't think there's anybody in here right now. I think I'm gonna set up my camp and try and get some sleep because I'm pretty deprived, and it's better to sleep during the day right now anyway, since it's getting so cold at night. It's just gonna be a better I'm gonna be able to sleep a little better during the day. So yeah, I slept there for I don't know if it was 8 hours, but it was something like that in the middle of the day, and woke up and recorded another clip. I was a little disoriented. All right, well, I'm here at this spot, which is, I think I already introduced it. I don't know, I don't remember, but it's right in the middle of this like Cloverleaf interchange. Pretty cool, honestly. I don't know, I think it's neat that you can camp out in a spot like this and not get found. You know, it's a little loud, but whatever. I'm packing stuff up now. I'm gonna head over to the Greyhound station. All right, just got the bus into downtown Jacksonville. I don't think I really can do much else. I think I just have to sit in the Greyhound station until my bus comes. On the bus, I was talking to this guy. Well, he was talking to me, actually. I guess he's homeless. I don't know. I couldn't really understand half the words he was saying, but he was talking about, like, you know, where to get food from, and like where's the, you know, homeless shelters and shit. And yeah, I don't want to end up like that, because it's just the sort of thing where it's clear that he's been here for, you know, probably his whole life. He's been in and out of these shelters, and he knows where all the food banks are, and it's just sad, you know. You know, I mean, he's a nice guy and all that. It's not like I'm hating on him, but like, it's kind of a sad way to live your life, I feel like. So then there was this 28-hour period that I didn't get any footage from, but I am going to explain what happened all in a little bit. I slept last night getting off the Greyhound bus, which is over there. I just need to find somewhere. This place is not that stealthy. There's people right there. But somehow I made it to noon anyway, so I'm grateful for that. Alright, well, I've got to walk south for a ways here. I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about all my experiences with the Greyhound system, which was a whole freaking mess. I didn't film anything. First of all, because most of it's very, very boring. Second of all, because I don't like filming people without their permission. But I wrote up a big thing on Patreon about it, and I will recount whatever I can remember of it to you now. So I got to the Greyhound station in Jacksonville at like 6, thinking that I was going to be leaving at 9:20. Then I at like, I don't know, 8:30, 9, something like that, people were getting in line just waiting for the bus to arrive, and then we all kind of just collectively realized that we looked up at the board, and the board said it was actually getting here at like midnight. I think it was actually 1 a.m. is when it was going to get there. So it was delayed like 3.5 hours or something like that. So we all sat down. We ended up like getting up and sitting down a couple more times. I forget why. It was just like, you know, buses coming in, people getting excited. Then we finally got on the bus. As we were seating, some people got into a fight. Like, I don't know if any punches were thrown exactly, but it kind of sounded like they might have been. I was already exhausted by that point, so I was just like hat over my head trying to sleep, like, you know, okay. But they settled their differences, I guess, and the bus driver came over and was like, hey, either figure this shit out or get off. Then as we were going, some dude was just like standing up with his light on. Again, it's like 1 a.m. People are trying to sleep. Doing something. I don't even know what he was doing exactly. And then he like pulled out some sort of spray can. I don't know if it was deodorant or what. It didn't smell like deodorant, so I don't know what the hell he was actually trying to do. But he started spraying something. And the guy next to him like violently grabbed the can and like he was going like, oh, I'm being assaulted. But everybody was already pissed at him, like trying to tell him to sit down and turn his light off and stuff. And he kept doing it. And then at the next stop, he got kicked off the bus. And then when we were getting ready to leave that stop, he tried to get back on the bus. And the bus driver said no, and he was like still trying to force his way on the bus. And she asked for help to restrain him. That was fucking wild. So eventually we get to Atlanta. This bus is like 4 hours late, right? So I missed my connection. I was supposed to make a connection in Atlanta to go down to Montgomery and then down to down to Montgomery and then down to Mobile. So go up to the counter, ask for a replacement ticket, get my new ticket. I got to wait 8 hours. 8 fucking hours in this Atlanta Greyhound station, which was like the worst station I've seen so far. I've been to a few. So that was fun. There was a schizophrenic guy. He was either schizophrenic or tweaking. I don't really know, but he was talking to himself, saying like a combination of gibberish and just like weird shit. He was there for the whole 8 hours, just kind of off and on, you know, ebbs and flows. He wasn't talking the whole time, but he was talking loud too. It wasn't like muttering to himself. He was like shouting at the floor. Anyway, yeah, that was just that was awful. That whole experience was fucking awful. And I finally got on my bus. It was delayed an hour, and the security guard was talking to somebody in front of me. Said that the bus driver just never showed up, and that's why that bus was delayed. So the bus from there was actually pretty uneventful, thankfully. It took another like 6-7 hours to get here. And then when I got out, it was like 34 degrees. I just went across the street to where you saw me earlier and pitched my tent. And then I slept for 12 hours. It was 28 hours in total from leaving Jacksonville, or from getting to the station in Jacksonville to getting off the bus here in Mobile. So, you know, given the option between that and hitchhiking, well, I know which one's more fun, and that's hitchhiking. You know, is it faster? No. Is it cheaper? Definitely. Is it more fun? Yeah. So that's going to weigh into my decision making in the future. And well, that's it for that video. I recorded a lot of this out of order, and took me a couple weeks to get around to actually finally doing the editing, so sorry if it was a little bit jumbled up, but that's it for this one. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Check all my links down in the description, and I'll see you in the next one.